Today we're going to show you how to change the control bracket on your refrigerator. It's a really easy job. All you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver, a 1/4-inch nut driver, and a pair of needle nose pliers. Let me show you how we do it. Now to do this repair, since we're going to be working around some electrical circuits, you should disconnect the power to the refrigerator. Now if it's not easy to get at the cord to unplug it, you could take the top hinge cover off on the freezer door side and disconnect the 4-wire harness there. That removes all power from the dispenser assembly. Once we've done that, we'll next pull the little drip tray out, and we'll remove the 2 Phillips screws that secure the escutcheon to the door. Next, we'll just lift up on that escutcheon, pull it forward, and then we can rotate that around where we can access the back side of it, and we're going to remove all of these wires that connect to the control switch. Now that we have the escutcheon where we can access the switch block, we're going to remove all of these wires from their terminals, and they're all marked. So you shouldn't have to worry about where to relocate them. And then we can set that escutcheon aside. Now that we have the escutcheon removed, we have access to the control bracket. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer both of these switches, the light socket, and this connector to our no control bracket. So it's easiest if we remove the 2 wires from the light switch first, with everything still attached. So with a pair of needle nose pliers, pull those wires off of the terminals. This connector will tilt it and push it up and disengage that. Now we're ready to remove these 2 1/4-inch hex head screws. Now we can lift that bracket forward, pull it down, so that we can access the 2 switches. And they are held in place with 2 locating pins and 2 locking tabs. So we'll depress the tabs and just kind of wiggle that switch out gently. Do the same on the opposite side. There's a piece of tape that holds that harness to the bracket. And unattach that. That will allow us to remove the old bracket completely. We've left the 2 spacers for the switches on here, so we can now remove those and transfer them to the new bracket, as well as the light socket. And to get the light socket out, we'll depress the locking tabs. You may need a small flat blade to reach in there to push those together. So with the flat blade, just reach in and depress those tabs while pushing out on the socket. First one side, and then the other. Just slide that out. the spacers. Again, we'll just depress those locking tabs, slide the spacers out. And we can discard the old bracket. So the first thing we'll do is reinstall the spacers, line them up over the locating pins. Push them all the way on. Next, we'll reinstall the light socket from the front side. Push it gently through, lock it in place. Now we can slide that whole assembly up into its position, and we can put those 2 screws in to hold it there. Now we can reinstall the switches. Again, we'll line them up with the locating pins, slide them on the bracket till the locking tabs engage. Next, we'll reinstall the wires for the light bulb. Make sure they fit snugly. We'll relocate that connector in its holder. The chances are the tape on that wire harness will no longer adhere. So we'll put a piece of electrical tape over that just to secure it to the new bracket. And we're ready to reinstall the escutcheon. Now we're ready to put the escutcheon back on. So we'll reconnect all of the wires, and they are labeled on the switch. So we'll start with the inside row first. Make sure that all of the connections are nice and tight. If you've happened to stretch one of the terminals, you'll need to crimp them with a pair of needle nose. And we can rotate that escutcheon back into place. We'll hook it on the top first, slide it down until it locks in, and then we can reinstall the 2 screws in the bottom. Make sure they're secure. Put the drip tray back in place. Reconnect the power or reconnect the harness at the top, and our repair is complete.